Salam, Namaste, Sat Shri Akal, Adab. This is a very special episode. You know, some people are defined by the titles they carry, but then there are men, and by men, I mean men this time, who are defined by the choices that they make in silence. वो कहते हैं ना, जो बाजार में अपना बटवा खोलता है, जो बाजार में अपना बटवा खोलता है, पर बच्चों की तरफ देखकर वो बटवा फिर खीसे में रख देता है, उसे इंसान नहीं, उसे बाप कहते हैं. यही है त्याग, यही है वो जिम्मेदारी एक बाप की. संदीप सिंगला की कहानी कुछ ऐसी है. His story is not about finish lines. His story is not about being an ultramarathoner, being a very successful leader. His story is about carrying life's heaviest weight in silence with his wife. His story is about endurance. But beyond his story and his beautiful wife Neha's story, the story starts with Zarouhi. She is the Sutradhar. Zarouhi came into this world for a reason. We're going to find that reason. Sandeep, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kunal. Pleasure.
Let's talk Zarouhi. I really want to talk.
Sure.
I known Zaruhi, I think, since the time I was born. But she was born much, much later.
Yeah.
I think everyone knows Zaruhi. She is omnipresent.
She is. And I think, let me start with say that, I'm always thankful that the God chose us to host her. Yeah. As you say, she came here for a reason, and I would like to call it a selfish reason that she came to educate me, or how to approach life. So Zaruhi, let's start with the name. It's a Persian Arabic name. It means princess. She was my first daughter. She was born in Singapore. And I think as a father, you would know this, Kunal. Daughters are always special. The first ones are more special. Yeah. So Zaruhi was the right name for her.
Beautiful.
So she was born, obviously very happy. But sort of the first week of her birth, we realized that she's quite yellow. And I think normally it's because of jaundice. So we consulted with the doctors. She was born in Singapore. We used to live there. And the doctors were like, look, it's regular jaundice. It should go in sort of a couple of days. And we were like, okay. But it didn't really disappear. Yeah? So 2-3 weeks happened and the jaundice continued to be there. I used to travel quite a bit during that time. And I still remember I was in Dubai, traveling from Singapore to Dubai. I landed for a board meeting. And then my wife sent me a text, which she doesn't do generally. She's like, look, I'm here with the doctors. They're saying something's wrong. You need to be back tomorrow. And I called her. I was like, what's going on? She couldn't speak on the phone. She's like, look, there's something terribly wrong. Just be back. And I skipped the board meeting straight into the hospital. And the doctors dropped the term, which I had no idea about. They said, look, your kid is born with Biliary Atresia.
Biliary Atresia.
I don't even know what language this is. It was a strange name. And I said, guys, just talk simple language to me. What does it mean? Yeah. And they said, look, she's born with this disorder, which is rare. 1 in 100,000 sort of kids get it, predominantly in Southeast Asia. The simple way to understand is that she's unable to pass out the bile, which is the sort of yellow stuff which is produced in the body, and that's why she's yellow. Or you could even simplify saying that her liver is not connected to the body. Yeah.
It hasn't grown?
It has grown, but the connections have not
connection
been
had
made
not been
properly.
made, yeah.
Yeah. I said, okay, fine. I mean, being an engineer, for me, there's a solution to every problem, right? So we said, what can you do about it? They were like, look, we will attempt a surgery. It's called Kasai procedure. And again, I think this is a Japanese term, I believe. But just the thought of, a week, sort of 2 weeks old kid to go through a surgery, that's daunting, right?
And was she born underweight?
Was
Was she born underweight?
No, she wasn't born. She was regular. I forgot the weight, but she was a regular kid from that perspective. She was not a premature baby. So it was like a perfect world. Suddenly, somebody pops your balloon kind of thing, right? So anyhow, we went for this sort of Kasai procedure. This was in December.
And how old was she?
She was born in November, so just a month old. And I still remember 31st December surgery date. Was meant to be a couple of hours, lasted for 10 plus hours surgery.
The surgery.
10 plus hours surgery.
Lasted for 10 plus
10 plus hours. The doctor's like, we open it up, it doesn't look good. We don't think Kasai procedure will be successful, but let's cross the bridge once we get there. Anyhow, we spent next few months in the hospital, she recovering. It was kind of fascinating in a way to see your kid with a sort of a U-line structure. I mean, that little Nanisi Jan, and suddenly there's a big scar on it. But anyhow, the scars they're pride in a way. So after sort of Jan, Feb, doctors like, look, we think we need to go for a liver transplant. Kasai procedure is not going to help. And I think that's when you start getting a bit scared. Yeah.
But until that point in time, was there hope between you and Neha?
There was always hope. I think even until last day, we were quite hopeful. I'm quite optimistic as an individual. So is Neha. So the whole idea of losing your child never came to us. I think this is more about, why do we have to go through this hardship kind of thing, right? So they said, let's do a liver transplant. We said, okay, tell us how to do it kind of thing. They were like, look, she's super light. She's very young, so we can't do it today. So you need to feed her more. She needs to start eating. And then, of course, one of you need to be donor. So we start doing the matching. My liver was a match. My wife's liver wasn't a match. But the problem is, how do you feed a 1-month-old kid? Yeah, she's not breastfeeding properly. You can't give solids. All you have to do is somehow give the formula milks, right? Which are again quite heavy. I think 3 months into her birth, they had to insert a pipe through her nose, which became a permanent feature, right? So just imagine a 3 months old kid having to be fed through a pipe. So from 3 months old, I was literally using those syringes to feed into a tube that will go through, and half of that will come out because the kids cannot digest, right? So we spent quite a bit of time, trying to put her on the weights, and her situation sort of kept deteriorating a bit. So then they said, look, we will do the surgery. But liver transplant on infants is a complex surgery. I don't think there is any country that can do this alone. So the Singapore government said, look, we need to invite doctors from abroad. So we had few medical professionals flew from Japan, and they flew from Singapore, and they attempted the surgery that time. So I became the donor. They took a part of my liver. They tried to put in her body, but turned out that my liver was quite big in the first transplant. They couldn't stitch her back up after the surgery. So for 7 days, she had a new liver installed in her body, but she was stomach open. So imagine me and my wife going to see Zaruhi, your firstborn, in a hospital bed with her stomach open. And the kid can see. She's sedated, but she can see, she can express. And I would still remember she looking at me, almost saying, look, this is too painful. Take me up. I could see her literally all the organs, because that's how she was kept. They just couldn't close it, right? So after 7 days, they were like, look, this liver transplant is a failure. We need to try it again. Now, we had a situation, I have been a donor, I cannot be a donor. My wife's liver is not a match. So we put an advertisement in the newspaper. And this is where the love of humanity comes in.
Wow.
Right? You won't believe, Kunal, I had more than 10,000 strangers showing up
Are you serious?
in NUH saying, take my liver. I'll tell you 2 stories. Yeah. And this is where Zarouhi's purpose comes in.
I'm betting you. She came in for a reason there.
So one guy, an old Indian origin uncle, came to us. He runs a tires manufacturing company in Singapore. I won't call him, name him because of his request. He comes to me. I still remember. I'm myself in a hospital bed because I'm recovering from my transplant. And he looks at me. He's like, "Beta, I can't give you my liver. I'm old. I don't have any kits. But here's a check for all the surgery costs that's gonna happen. I just want to make sure that money is never a problem." I still have the check with me, right? A blank check signed by him to say, "Look, money shouldn't be a problem." Right? Then one Singaporean lady comes in, really old, and she got her daughter with her.
Oh.
She's a doctor, she will donate her liver, right? And there are so many stories, Kunal. So many people showed up, right? Quickly, there was already a movement in Singapore. Zaruhi somehow became Singapore's favorite child. If you Google her name, you'll find thousands of articles in Singapore. But I think she sort of brought the community together, if you like. But nevertheless, the second liver transplant never happened. I think given she was sort of kept open for a long period of time, infection came in, and then eventually, doctors took up a mission to switch off the ventilator, right? And then the government essentially said, look, she's going to be buried in Singapore. She's Singapore's kid. And sort of the process followed, right? But if I think about Zaruhi, I think God has been kind to us that He sent to us to teach us a lot of things, right? There's a very famous sort of principles in life that, if you want resilience, God is not going to come and sprinkle fuzzy feelings on you. He's going to give you a situation to build that resilience, right?
True.
And I think this is what perhaps the bigger plan of the nature was, right? He sent Zarouhi to us to host an angel. I think that's what we say in our mythology too. But she ended up teaching us resilience. She ended up teaching us compassion from the people of Singapore, right?
But it was just more than that, right?
There was far more, far more.
You tell me the point between Neha and you. You were giving part of your liver. Neha would have given part of her liver had the
Any given.
that was never an option given. But was there any element of fear that, hey, believe that liver reproduces by itself as an organ, right? But was there any fear at all?
None. Look, as a parent, you are always willing to die for your kids.
Tell me about it.
I actually had, I don't think that thought ever came to my mind or to her.
It was just like that.
It was like, this is what needs to be done. It has to be.
Let's just do it.
Let's just do it.
And prior to that, you had never been in an OT, never done nothing.
No. Well, I had been in OT. I have a broken ankle, so I've been in an OT before. I had few minor injuries here and there. But it's not sort of just Neha and I. If I think about my mother, she was willing to be a donor. My in-laws, they were willing to be a donor. My brother-in-law was ready to be a donor. None of us were a match except me, right? And I still remember my mom is like, I don't care what happens to you, but we have to protect Zaruhi at all costs, right? This is where the love of fathers, grandfathers, mothers comes through, right? So in a way, look, it's definitely unfortunate what happened. Then it brought us a lot of grief.
But it took something away from you.
It did, but it gave me more, Kunal. Yeah,
But at that point in time, you went through
that point.
Terrible. No, I'm not even talking about, of course, between you and Neha, the loss, right? But you lost it yourself.
I did, because look, grief is one thing. You lose your kid, that's okay. It's not okay, but it sort of gives you grief, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of time with grief comes guilt. And I think that guilt killed me. somewhere. And I'll explain why the guilt. Yeah.
I think I have, I know what you're trying to say, but
So for me,
mm,
when Zaruhi was born, or even before she was born, I think you can imagine, I'm going to stereotype a bit. People from India are not the healthiest people in the world. Yeah. We have a rich diet. We don't really believe in exercise in the younger days. So our body work is all over, right? So in a way, I was unhealthy. Yeah. I think I would probably say my liver wasn't fatty, but it wasn't the most healthiest one, right? Doctors did warn us that, look, your liver is large, so maybe you should consider something else, right? But I sort of forced them to say, no, you should be taking my liver. I'm the father kind of, right? So I went through a huge guilt that time, twofold guilt. Number one was that, did I rush it? Did I make a wrong choice by donating my liver? Should have been somebody else. Yeah. Should have we actually gone with an external party somewhere? Yeah. To get the most healthy liver, if you like, right? That guilt kills me a lot. Yeah. The second guilt for me was I traveled a lot, Kunal. No? That did I spend enough time with her? Or did I sort of, took it for granted, if you like, right? Should I have taken her somewhere else? I have no complaints with Singapore medical system, but it's always like, should I have taken her to Japan and all that stuff? And I struggle with that guilt. So I was dealing with both grief and guilt at the same time, which really slipped me into depression. And I was clinically depressed for over 4 years. If I show you pictures of me by 2017, 2018, you wouldn't recognize me. I was double the size.
For people perhaps who don't understand this aspect, what really happens? What goes physiologically, mentally? What happens to the family around you? Because they are the one who are also enduring this, right?
Absolutely. So I think the classic signs of depressions are you stop being yourself. Practical signs is you pick up habits that are not natural to you. Common things are smoking, drinking. I was drinking heavily. You stop sort of smiling. Everything is negative about life. Yeah.
Is it that the guilt, the anger?
It's the guilt, the anger.
Why should it happen to me? I'm a model citizen.
Pretty much.
I worked hard all my life.
You start asking questions like, why this happened to me? Why is God so unkind? मैंने किसका क्या बुरा किया? Yeah. And then after blaming the nature and the God, you start blaming yourself.
True.
Yeah.
True.
That maybe I rushed it. I should have been healthy. I should have taken to Japan. I'm a failure. I couldn't keep my daughter alive. Yeah. Everything becomes internal. So you start shutting down. Right. And when you start shutting down, you start looking for things to latch on to so that you can survive.
Yeah? Is it more pronounced in men, in your opinion?
I think men and women express depression differently.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think men are perhaps more vulnerable to depression than women are, in my assessment.
Or they're just wired to just keep it inside and not kind of talk about it, right?
Correct. I think we make it more obvious.
And the anger, so the smoking and drinking is, people say it's not a sign of weakness. It's just a channel of wetting out.
It's a venting out. Absolutely.
Am I right? Of
Absolutely.
venting.
It's venting out.
It's just a medium to vent out.
There's perhaps a bit more deeper thing about it. You're not venting out, but subconsciously you want to damage yourself. Yeah?
That emotional punishment you're
That emotional punishment. Because you want to sabotage everything about you.
So right.
So you end up addictions. You start doing anything which you fundamentally don't want to do.
Right.
These are early signs of early depression. As it gets worse, you will see things like people want to kill themselves.
And it's just all because of a chemical imbalance that is happening? Because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to understand, of course, there is a Zarouhi and that episode. And eventually, because you're procrastinating so much, you're thinking so much, and you're thinking more negatively about every other aspect, And eventually the real estate is here, the world is here, the universe is here. There's nothing out there.
There's nothing.
Out there is all physical.
Correct,
right?
correct.
It's all here. And the more negative you think about yourself, the more deeper negative thoughts come.
Correct.
And
Correct.
on the opposite side, there is a positive, but the negativity just,
It's a spiral. It's a spiral.
and it takes you right to your gut, right?
Absolutely.
And every aspect that you see in life is through that negative lens and not a positive lens.
Absolutely. It's that's why it's called a spiral, because essentially it goes like this, right? So you will start thinking about every bad thing that has happened to you and every bad thing that you have done in your life, right? You will start losing your self-respect.
Confidence for sure.
You will lose your confidence. You will stop looking after yourself.
Yeah.
And then everything is negative, right? So if I'm depressed right now, I would actually blame you for cold coffee.
I understand.
Yeah. Because that's the sort of frame you
Yeah,
have,
I do.
right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people actually don't talk about it, right? Because the best thing you can do, from my experience, when you are in the grief and guilt, is to talk about it. But it's a taboo.
Do you
It's a
think
big
it's a
taboo.
taboo or just the way we are wired?
I think it's more of a taboo today.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to talk about it,
Okay.
but there are not avenues. So if you think about today, if I have to, well, there are a number of things. Number one, if I want to talk about my depression, it's only immediate family. Anybody outside my family doesn't really have time.
Yeah. And they're going to adapt.
Everyone is busy in their own lives, right? As a friend, you will listen to me once, twice, 3 times, and after 4th time, you'll be like, yeah, bas kar, kuch aur baat karte hain, right? So we don't have those structured avenues to talk about our griefs, our guilts to begin with, right? Number 2, it's a huge taboo that anything we talk about, sort of mental
Illness?
lens, it is seen as somebody, yeah, uska dimag kharab hai. He's pagal ho gaya, right?
And is it the same, because you've traveled around the world, is it the same in all societies?
No,
Or
I
is
think
it
the
been
approach
more
is very
pronounced?
different. It's I think we have normalized talking about mental health like physical health in many other parts of the world. In many parts of the world, similar to our country, it's still a bit of taboo, right?
No.
You would think twice.
So Asian culture is.
It's an Asian culture, right? So it's seen as a sign of defeat. It's seen as a sign of weakness. It's also seen as a sign of, mental imbalances are you've lost it kind of thing altogether, right? So people don't get to talk about it. I think that's sort of number one.
Lack of empathy.
It's lack of empathy from our people around it, right? The second thing is we always think that these problems need bigger solutions. Yeah. Like if you have something wrong, you need a surgery. Yeah. The thing is, your mental state has very simple solutions. A simple walking for 5 kilometers or even 10 minutes will release the chemicals which will allow you to be positive.
So right. The
Going
small
for a spa helps you.
adjustments.
Small changes.
Adjustments.
Small changes. Listening to your favorite songs. Yeah. Watching a comedy show.
Something that you like.
Something
Hang
you
around
like.
with people who love you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we
It could
don't,
mean anything.
we don't pay attention to those. And I didn't, to be honest. When I was depressed, my immediate reaction was to go and listen to sad songs. And I would ignore all the good songs that I listened because I want to punish myself that I should be, subconsciously penalizing me for being a careless father. Right? And you want to just label yourself that and go into that spiral mode. Right?
And then one day a miracle happens.
One day a miracle happens.
Is it really one day?
It was literally one day.
It's like 0 to 1?
It is 0 to 1. I wish I had brought that picture, So this is back in 2020. We were in Netherlands that time. And I looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, man.
You were looking at yourself at the mirror the previous day and the previous year as well when you were depressed. But this
how
one
somehow comes in, right?
Okay.
So I think pandemic actually helps. Yeah. Because you have no other choice just to look at yourself, right?
True.
So this was June 2020, June 4th, if I remember it clearly. I have it on my Strava, right? I looked myself, I'm like, I don't like the sight of this guy at all, right? I was like 100 kg plus, I would say, easily. Yeah, fat all over. Never groomed myself, all that stuff. And then Neha goes, she's like, let's try something. Let's try this called HIIT, high intensity workout kind of thing, right? And I think this was a trend that days during pandemic. So he's put on something on the YouTube. We struggle to do it for more than 5 minutes. And I'm like, okay, let me try running. So I put my shoes, ran outside. Man, 250 kilometers max.
250 meters.
Sorry, 250 meters.
That's it, right?
That's it.
But
That's
carry-
you with brakes.
that you with 100 kg on.
100 kg on, that's you with brakes. And I came back, I'm like, look, I don't think anything is possible.
And you were not run before this?
I've never run before in my life. The only sports competition I've ever participated as a kid was a tricycle race. Those little things with three wheels.
And I'm sure the mother was pushing the tricycle also. Just to make you
Possible.
I'm telling you, all mothers do it.
So no sports whatsoever. And again, I mean, if we stereotype a bit, the education system in India forces you to study, right?
At least way back then.
Way back that time, during our generation times. So that 250 meters perhaps was the most painful run I ever did, right?
Out of breath.
Out of breath,
Carrying
can't
weight.
do, your stomach just kind of flapping all over kind of thing.
You could slap somebody with that flap.
So it was odd, but I think somehow, and maybe it's a miracle, or maybe I've spent way too much time in depression. I was like, look, can't give up on this. Maybe I can't do 250 today. Maybe we can. So my target that time was just to be able to run 1 kilometer. Just one. If I can hit one, small steps, right? Because, the grit never shows up instantaneously. These are small steps of persistence that give you
Spread over a period of time.
So I said, we'll do it sort of 1K, and I did not give up. I sort of, hit 1K, 5K, that was great. But the part which I'll never remember is September 27, when my birthday is. That year, I said to Neha, I said, you know what? I'm just going to try and run a marathon myself. Let's see how far I can go. Yeah. She said, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Let's go. And I started running Kunal. You wouldn't believe it. I got a call from her around 4.5 hours or so. And she's like, what happened? Are you not coming back or what? I looked at my watch. I had run 54 kilometers. From June to September, because I didn't give up.
From 200 meters?
From 250 meters on 27 September, on my Strava, it shows 54 kilometers in 4.5 hours that I ran there. And I was not planning to come back because I was enjoying it, right?
But were you running away from something? Or were
No,
you
I
running
think
at something?
I would say I discovered a feeling of runner's high that day. I think probably that day I felt that my running is a solution to my depression. I felt free, right? I realized that I enjoy long distance running, not a short distance running. If you ask me to run 5 kilometers, I'm the laziest person in the world, right? But after sort of 20, 25 kilometers, what I realize is that I'm becoming in sync with the nature. Suddenly you forget about your pains, physical pains, mental pains, and you feel like you're sort of flying like a bird, right? That feeling was addictive. And that sort of helped me believe that, this kind of running, this kind of endurance is a solution to coming back from that depression, if you like.
In all of this, tell me something. How did Neha process Zarouhi? And by the time you started running, we need to talk about, Arisa as well.
Sure.
Yeah, because she must have been, what, 2 or 3?
Yeah. So
How did Neha process all of this?
So I think her grief processing is very different than mine. She's far more resilient than I am. which is remarkable.
Remarkable, because
I'll
that's her piece of her heart out there.
I'll tell you a story about her resilience, which I think inspires me even to the day. So when back to the time when Zarouhi was in hospital, right? When my liver transplant happened to her, that night I was unconscious because I had just given a liver kind of thing. Right? I had no memory of this. I wasn't even aware.
Is it termed as a major surgery?
This is a major surgery.
It's a very major surgery.
It's so after your liver transplant, takes you around 2 months to recover. First week you can't get up, then you lose your ability to breathe because your lungs have collapsed. So they give you this thing tube where you have to practice. The scar takes almost a month. I couldn't walk for a month. I was on wheelchair for a month. It's a major surgery. But on the night of surgery, obviously I was unconscious. The doctors told my wife and my mom and my in-laws that, look, liver transplant is unlikely to succeed because we couldn't close the stomach, right? My mom had a heart attack, a literal heart attack. This is in Singapore. So she was picked up in ambulance, taken to another hospital, right?
And here you have now Neha.
So Neha is managing 3
Zaruhi
patients at that time. She's managing Zaruhi, who's fighting for her life. She's managing her husband, who's unconscious, and then now she's managing her mother-in-law. Without a single complaint, Kunal. So we're talking about that lady with that resilience, right? Now, she processed griefs very differently. She's not the one who will come out and talk about it. She will never show up in interviews. She will never come on camera. Because she's that silence force behind, right? So she was one of the person who said, look, we need to move on quickly from this, right?
Telling you women, right?
And she was behind to say, look, we need to leave Singapore. Though we love Singapore, the country has been so nice to us. We need to physically walk away from here so that we can build a new life. Till date,
knowing that Zaruhi is buried there.
Absolutely. Till date, she hasn't gone to Zaruhi's grave. Not because she doesn't love Zaruhi. A mother has the most amount of love for the kid.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But she's like, look, if I keep living in the past, I cannot give the future to the kids.
That is also true.
And that is important for Ruzmair and Arisa, that they are connected to Zaruhi because they were the sister. But they don't need to live with that baggage that you and I seem to carry, right? So she has transformed her life into very differently. But she stays connected. So she used to run a foundation called Bless a Brave Heart. And that was her idea. She said, look, we have been blessed that we had the resources to fund this kind of thing, right? But there are so many people who can't afford. So she started this organization in Singapore. She said, we're just gonna find money and raise money for people who have kids who are going through these diseases. You don't have the resources. And single-handedly, she set up this foundation and did amazing work. We just got a thanking letter the other day. Life works in interesting ways.
What was your mental state and her mental state as a mother specifically after losing Zaruhi? And that must have been a genetic disorder, right? And Arisa being born. That guilt, the fact that I hope the baby is safe. We hope there is no...
I think we went to extra lengths just to make sure everything is okay. Yeah. I think obviously there's a huge amount of fear that, look, something happened with Zaruhi, something could happen with Arisa, I feel like, right? So double checking everything, a lot of fear. I'm not a hugely religious person, but I think I didn't leave any God that I prayed for during Arisa's birth to make sure that, look, this is perhaps my only chance, and everything goes okay.
And do it to me, not to Arisa.
Correct. I actually didn't. I wasn't sure I was ready for a second kid, to be honest. So Neha was, I wasn't. So for me, I felt that if this had happened with the first one, this would happen with everything, and I didn't want to do it, right? But somehow we did it, and I'm glad we did it because Arisa came out to be the most beautiful kid after Zaruhi.
I said, can I tell you something? Look back at your mother. Look at Neha. Look at everybody else. I keep on saying this. You know what is the definition of a man? From women.
For sure. Yeah.
बाप का definition कुछ और है.
Yeah. Any given day.
Definition of a man is from being.
Absolutely. Look,
These guys, you know, I always say we drain ourselves, we lose ourselves, and they re-energize us every day, every day, and they say, "आगे बढ़ो,
Absolutely.
आगे बढ़ो."
So look, these little kids,
Yeah.
they have their own ways. I'll tell you 2 stories about Arisa. So we have a ritual for my races. I'm not allowed to go to any race without a drawing from her.
Oh.
So you probably saw the dress I
Yep.
was wearing yesterday.
Yeah.
It was an "I love you, Papa" on it with a small picture of her, right? And she will make a new drawing in every race, and then she will tell me that if I don't see this in the pictures, you're gonna be in problem, right? In a way, it's cute, but there's a deeper element to it.
Yeah.
That when you're running and you want to give up, just look at this. Remember, why are you running?
Oh, beautiful, man.
What's the deeper element to it? There was another story I'll tell you, and this is something which you could see it from a guilt perspective, but also from a learning perspective. You know, as fathers, we bribe our kids. You do this, I'll give you this kind of thing, right? Now, my job requires me to travel. I am always on the plane. So very early on, I started giving bribe to the kids to say, look, Papa's going to go. Tell me what you want.
Yeah.
And the list is like, give me this toy, give me that toy, kind of thing. There comes a stage, one day, I'm like, look, Arisa, Papa's going to be on the plane tomorrow. What toy do you want? And she goes, no, I don't want anything. I'm like, that's odd. What's going on here? She was like, Papa, we don't have space for the toys. I'm like, we can create space, not a problem. And then she looks at me, and this is 5-year-old kid, yeah? She looks at me, she's like, Papa, you realize I don't need toys, I need your time.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. This is 5-year-old kid.
Arisa?
Yeah.
Man.
She has the wisdom of Neha and Zarouhi combined.
Wow.
She somehow comes with these deeper statements, and you're like, am I still going in the same trap that I did with Zarouhi of taking these things for granted? So she tells me, she's like, Papa, I need your time. I need you, not the toys.
Do you think she's Zaruhi 2.0?
Difficult to say because we didn't see Zarouhi in that particular form, but I do believe that she's got some blessings from Zarouhi, the messages she's been passing to us. Yeah. And I think in those moments, I do wonder that women have a strong influence of men from that perspective, right?
But tell me something. Fat man, depressed man, started running 54 kilometers. Your community knows you today. What the world does not know you is you're an ultra marathoner now, and you do not only ultra but those toughest endurance races around the world. संदीप कहाँ से आया है यार? ये क्या हुआ है?
I think
Did it have to? It was always within you, but then you got this reason, right?
yeah. So
From 54 kilometers to 250 kilometers.
I think it was never meant to be running, Kunal.
Yeah.
So I think running is just a metaphor. Yeah. I think the elements perhaps over here is resilience. Yeah. I think I needed something to develop that muscle, and running just became a medium.
But okay, were you a resilient young man?
I think I was, but I realize it now, right? So if I go back to early 80s, right? Because I do a lot of reflection to say, look, why I'm suddenly talking about resilience, right? And these things, as I said, they don't happen to you magically. You know, there are small parts of your life which shape you from this perspective. Now, if I go back to early 80s, you might remember the riots of 1984, the Sikh riots. Now, in our culture, most of the Punjab culture, the men will have long hair. Yeah, whether you're Sikh or not doesn't matter. You grew up with long hair, and I had long hair. I used to wear patka until you used to fight.
Because back then everyone
used to, right?
Correct.
Born in Punjab. As a kid, Kunal, I have seen people killed at point blank range. Yeah, I've seen someone being
on the
shot.
Delhi side or the Punjab side?
Punjab side.
Punjab side.
I've seen person being killed like this distance as a kid, right? I still remember traveling in buses and buses being stopped by the militants to pull out,
And
six
this
and
during the
killed.
Khalistan movement.
This is the Khalistan movement, right?
Yeah, I remember
And
that very.
nothing that shapes your resilience about surviving. I never realized it. But now when I think about very early signs, that's what I saw. Right? The second thing I would probably say is that, I'm quite privileged to have lived the both spectrums of life, in the sense that I've seen extreme richness and I've seen extreme poverty, right?
While growing up?
While growing up. So I would describe as a growing up, we were perhaps more hand to mouth, right? My father, who was a sort of a very, what's the right word to say? He was a very self-respected man, in a sense that never take help kind of thing, right? He had a job, but that job was never enough, right? So he would use extra assignments to feed the family, right? I've seen him travel extreme distances just to make sure that, there is enough money in the house. I've grown up through an environment where the food wasn't enough, right? And now when I reflect back, I think that resilience sort of came through, right? So somewhere I do believe that running is just an avenue that allowed me to express that resilience, which has been the core part of my life.
And it allows you to take you back and forth in your mind.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Your younger days.
Absolutely.
Your problems in life. How do you solve it?
Absolutely. Because when I'm running these extreme distances in extreme environments, the constant thought about in sort of my head is actually a reflection about my life, right? It subconsciously takes you to states which you didn't like or the places which you liked, from that resilience perspective. So maybe that's what my love about running is, because it allows me to just go back into life or think about these things.
What kind of a mental fortitude is required? I have a very dear friend who's my neighbor. I think he too is an ultra marathoner, but largely he is those 40 kilometers, races around the world. He also has done the Boston, he's done the New York. And I see extreme discipline with him, right? Same with you. But when you are an ultra marathoner, there is hallucinations that also kind of come in, right?
Yes.
Maybe after every, 30, 40, 50 kilometers.
Yes.
How do you keep on that pace, right? Because you are hallucinating, your body's giving up.
You see things.
And you see things and you still have to run. And is it, not everyone can do this 0.1% or 0.001%?
I think everyone can.
Everyone can, in your opinion?
In my opinion, everyone can.
What is required for that?
I think, so we often talk about physical muscles. Yeah? Don't get me wrong, our body is remarkably resilient. We can do crazy things, right? I think we always underestimate our body. But another part we underestimate and we never pay attention to is our mind. So if you want to run an ultramarathon, you do need strong muscles, but you need strong mind. Yeah. I'll tell you two stories. One, a funny one about hallucination, and one which explains why you need a mind. Right, let's start with the funny one bit. Hallucinations are real. There's a difference between a wall and a hallucination. So wall happens when your body starts giving up, right? So this normally happens around 30 kilometers.
For everyone? For all runners?
Pretty much, all runners.
Okay.
So if you're running short distances, by short I mean 42 kilometers, you will hit a wall at 30, 32, where your body will just give up, right? And then you need your mind to push your body to run, right? If you're running ultra, you will have a wall around 30, you'll have a wall around 100, that 150. Yeah? And there's science behind these numbers, right? But sort of at that crazy distances, you will hallucinate. So when we run these extra long distances, like 250 kilometers, there's one day where we have to run around 90 to 100 kilometers in one go, right? Now imagine I'm running in Namibia, temperature is 50 to 54 degrees.
Jesus
the heat.
Christ.
There's a 7 kg backpack, which has all the supplies I need. And you're running 90K non-stop. Yes, you will take a break after every 10K or so, right? At around 80 kilometers, I was running with a friend of mine. And then we see something in the sky. Okay? And I'm like, look, his name is Simran. I said, look, Simran, there's a plane landing over here. And then he goes, no, bro, you are hallucinating. It's a train.
Are you serious?
Right? But we sort of kept debating that this is a train or a plane. So we reached the camp. We passed out because it was sort of midnight. In the morning, we woke up. There was no airport. There was no railway line. Must be a shooting star or something.
But is it surreal? Is it?
It is. You see things. You see people at those crazy distances because your mind is switching off. Your body is dying. Most of the runners will take a Coca-Cola at that distance, a sugar rush, to avoid hallucinations because these things are real. If you climb Everest, you will find that, at sort of 7 to 8,000 meters, your body will start sort of zoning out and you will have those hallucinations.
That's because of the lack of oxygen?
It's lack of oxygen. But here's happening the same thing because when you're running, your lungs are shrinking. Yeah, your body is not taking the right amount of oxygen because you're breathing through your mouth, through your nose, not through your nose.
But are men and women, can we endure this for a sustained period of time? Is this ultramarathons?
We can. Yeah? We can. It's about training.
I say it. I ask only out of ignorance because
no, we can. We can.
I keep on asking myself, do you do a lot more damage to yourself, your tissues, your bones, your physiological? Of course, mentally you're super strong.
I don't think so because I believe humans were meant to run and walk. If you look at our forefathers, they used to travel crazy distances and they actually had a longer span of time than we do, right? So the physical body can endure these distances, yeah? But it does need training. It does need change in your lifestyle, yeah? It does need change of your diets that you...
So eventually there's three things: sleep.
Correct. You need rest, and you need proper food, and you need proper exercise, then your body can do anything. But the second element is a mind part, yeah? I think we don't spend enough time on this. And I'll tell you another story about what the sort of mindset you need if you want to do these runs, right? I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year. I was supposed to run an ultramarathon in Mongolia, Gobi Desert, 250 kilometers. And 2 days before the race, I had a sharp pain on my sort of left part of the stomach. And I ignored it. I'm like, that's fine. It happens. Yeah. Kind of thing. But the pain became worse and worse. And then I went to the hospital and the doctor's like, look, you got 2 kidney stones. One in your kidney and one in your urinary tract. The kidney one is easy. We can do a laser. The urinary tract, we cannot do lasers. So we're going to put a stent in your urinary tract. It'll come out in a week's time. But
freaking painful, man.
We have to put it because otherwise, it will block the urine and it will back out in the kidney and your kidney will be damaged.
And again, I think there's jaundice as a
side effect.
Yeah, correct.
I said, sure, do it. So they put a stent in my urinary tract. And I'm like, just, doctor, I'm running an ultramarathon in 2 days.
Wow.
And then he goes, thank you, but that's not going to happen.
And this is the Mongolia one.
This is the Mongolia one. The arrogant me, like, watch me. So I went to Mongolia. We have medical support on all those things. I did not tell the doctor. Stupid of me, but I didn't. Now, during this long march, which is a 90 kilometers run in one go, 10 p.m. or so, I think I was around 82 kilometers mark, and sharp pain again, and I'm peeing blood. Because the stunt has gone bad, yeah, and I'm peeing blood that time. So doctors, they're like, peeing blood simply means that your muscle is degenerating, and that's a serious thing we need to take out of the race. And then I sort of came clean. I said, look, there's a stunt in my kidney right now, And the doctor looked at me like, what the hell? You should tell these things and you should not do kind of things, right? And they wanted to pull me out of the race from that perspective. But I said, no, not going to happen, right? Pain, whatever, I need to finish this, right? And then I ran the last 8 kilometers in that condition. And there's a beautiful picture. When I finish the end point, I literally crash. Literally, I'm on my knees and I pass out, right? But I was able to do that, Kunal, because I spent a lot of time conditioning my mind. The resilience that we talk about, right? I think if you develop that muscle, the mind muscle that we are talking about, that's when you can do stuff like what I do. And equally in life. So again, running is just a metaphor, right? Running 100 kilometers is one thing, but your life throws you so many challenges, and we need stronger mindset to deal with that.
What I'm kind of hearing from you, and I believe in it myself, right? Most of us give. Not
We
because
give
we're
up.
weak.
We give up.
We just give up maybe 10 meters before.
Absolutely.
And all you need to do is like pull yourself another 10 meters.
It's small
just the last
discipline.
10 meters.
This-
And could mean anywhere.
What's your favorite food?
Actually, I love idlis and...
So if I put a idli in front of you, can you stop yourself from eating it?
I'm disciplined enough, but I would love to eat it.
Most of people would not, right? I mean, they'll be like, okay, here's just one little
Yeah.
idli and I'll be okay, right? And I think those are the small things
I
which you
understand.
start working on that discipline, if you like, right? That how do we condition our mind that our immediate reaction is not to give up, but to push it through.
So you have your children's right now, and after, you have Zaruhi here. Are you pushing is because there is unfulfilled or whatever, or a promise you made to Zaruhi?
No.
No?
No. So I'll tell you another story and reason behind this, right?
Because you need some kind of an anchor to have
There's
this
something.
extreme mindset that
So-
you have cultivated.
Yeah, so Zarouhi is not my anchor.
Okay.
Zarouhi is my force. Yeah? My anchor is actually something very selfish and very fundamental. So I had a heart stroke back in 2022.
Are you serious?
I had a heart stroke in December
So you are running right now, you're physically super fit,
but I had a heart stroke.
and
right?
you have a heart stroke, and
Correct.
you have a kidney stone. I'm sorry, but you have some...
I have an ankle in my
Knee
some
surgery.
rod in my ankle. I had a knee surgery. So there's a lot of things wrong medically.
You are a poster boy for medical insurance then.
I stay away from doctors because they will make me stop, right?
Okay.
But so I was actually amazed, and I was like, why is this happening, right? Because I'm fit. True. If you look at my blood works today, you'll be impressed that everything is actually under control, right? But turns out, in my family, Kunal, no male has lived beyond the age of 62. Now, call it a curse, call it a coincidence,
Whatever.
right?
Yeah.
They all somehow disappear around October, around 62 age, right? So when this heart stroke happens for me, I felt that this is a way of destiny telling me, look, your time's gonna be up. Doesn't matter how crazy you are, what things you do, we're gonna call you back around 62 or something, right? Which fundamentally tells me I have 20 years to live. Yeah, more or less. Inshallah, maybe I'll live more than that, right? When I visit my grandfather's place to our ancestral village, it's called Veterhan, they welcome me saying Shada Munda hai, right? And then they talk about his legacy, what he's done. And my identity is that I'm his grandson, right? And that ignited a spark, Kunal, right? To say, look, if I have 20 years to live, I want to live life free.
I want to
Yes,
tell
literally.
my story.
I want to tell my story. I want to live it unapologetically,
Where
where, when I die, whenever the time is right, I don't want people to think my story as someone who lived with grief or somebody whose life was tragedy, but someone whose life was a transformation. Yeah, that this guy chased whatever he wanted to chase. He moved away from grief, did this crazy stuff, And that's the selfish desire I have. And that's why I do these things.
I don't think so. It's selfish.
Legacy, by definition, is a bit of selfish, right? Because we want to leave a sort of imprint on the world, if you like, right?
Yeah.
But there's also a generation element. Yeah? Because, look, kids learn from us. Yeah. My kids are into running today.
So when you have a heart stroke, you have Ruzmer.
Then you have to think about Rusme.
Again, Neha
Yes,
is nursing the child. You have Arisa,
correct.
right? Left the country. Husband who is an ultramarathoner and a corporate job at that, a very successful one, travels around the world.
Yeah.
All right, looking out for gas, fossils,
Yeah.
and you have a stroke again.
Yes.
Man, I don't know. Do I have to empathize with you or with me?
No, no. Well, more with her. More with
More
her.
with
But again, look, the story is not the challenges we have. Because I think you put anyone on this chair, you'll find the challenges they have in life are perhaps bigger than mine, right? I think the story is more around to say, life is going to give you these challenges, obstacles, right? If you use a running analogy, when I run with a bag, my focus is how do I keep my bag lightest as possible as I can. Yeah. So that's why I cut my toothbrush into half. That's why I eat through a poly bag rather than a plastic bowl, because I just want to make sure it's not more than 6 years, right?
So there's no drag on you.
There's no drag on you.
Yeah.
And your shoulders don't give up, right? We all are running in our life with a bag. Yeah. Now it's your choice what you want to put in that bag.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Do you want to put grief? Do you want to put regrets? Do you want to put mistakes? Or do you want to put happiness? Right? There's no scientific way to measure this, but maybe your heart will tell you happiness is lighter than regrets.
For sure.
Right? So, and that's why I always tell people that, look, I just want to make my bag lighter now. I have 20 years to live. Maybe 25. Yeah.
You ran in Antarctica?
I have ran in Antarctica. I have ran in Namibia. I have ran in Mongolia, Jordan.
These are ultramarathons.
These are ultramarathons, 250 kilometers. Atacama in Chile. Then I've run in Europe. I'm actually running in Europe next week in Greece. But I've run in Europe before.
Is that
run in
ultramarathon?
US. That's an ultramarathon. I'm flying on Thursday to Greece to run 250 kilometers.
And besides you had the Grand Prix. What is that in the racing world? In the running world?
It's called Grand Slam.
Grand Slam.
Which is effectively, running on all the continents, 250 self-supported in 12 months.
And you've done that as well.
I've done that as well. My next challenge is in January, which is 7 marathons in 7 continents in 7 consecutive days.
Do you think in India you will be called Lal Singh Chadda?
No, Lal Singh Chadda is a legend. He's a legend. There's actually I don't know if you picked up, there's a very good journalist, Vadika Bandari. She works for Hindustan Times. So when, Fauja Singh?
No.
So Fauja Singh was an Indian origin runner who ran his first marathon at the age of 80 or so.
80.
Yeah.
80.
Yeah. You should Google him.
Wow.
You should Google him. He was a celebrity. He lost his son in an accident. A similar story to mine. And he started running marathons at that age.
At 80.
At 80. He used to live in the UK. And then he ran quite a few marathons, and he was a celebrity whenever there was a UK marathon. Irony, he came to India this year. He was walking in his village. Somebody hit him and he died. That's the irony.
Fauja Singh. In India?
In India.
Wow.
So this happened a few months ago, right? So Radhika called me and she's like, look, I'm writing an article on Fauja Singh. I know your story. Can I combine it? I said, look, you know what? I've actually ran with Fauja Singh. Because Fauja Singh and I did the London Marathon together.
And did he run the entire marathon?
He ran the entire marathon. He ran faster than me.
Fauja Singh ran faster.
Amazing guy. Amazing guy. So I told about the interaction. So she put that article in the newspaper. And I remember she asked me the same question. That, are you Lal Chadda? Yeah. I'm like, maybe. Maybe, you know. But there are many more runners in the country.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
But I think probably there's a bit of correlation that, for us, we all are searching for something. We all are sort of, trying to have a bit of fun in the life and not take running as a physically or mentally demanding activity. It's more an outlet. So perhaps there's a bit of Lal Singh Chadda in me.
There are people listening to you who may be suffering from depression, but suffering in silence. We can't tell. The taboo still exists. There are people out there who are maybe stuck in a job which they hate, in a relationship which they hate. There are people out there who just who have the motivation, but motivation, as they say, is like the cadence is like this. It's not that considered because that comes with discipline. There is a kid out there who's looking the fact that life is uncertain because obviously things are changing so rapidly. What does this Lal Singh Chadda
Wants to tell them?
Yeah. To each group.
Yeah.
To each group.
I think
Each group has its own, I would say, they're facing their own demons.
Yeah.
And they're facing their own trials.
The first thing I will tell, actually common to all the groups, would be to say, I hear you, you're not alone. Yeah. I think we all have something that we are running away from. The magnitude is different, right? But we all have something that we want to get away from. No one's life is perfect. We all have to do jobs we don't like. Majority of us. Some people say, look, I'm fortunate to do what I have passion about. The reality is, given a choice, nobody wants to work from that perspective, right? So in that sense, the good thing is that what you're facing is not unique. A lot of people have gone through this, and a lot of people will go through this. You're just going through it, right? The practical helps I can offer from my life. I think number one, you need to tell your mind that you want to get out of it. And it's a bit of cliche, but it's important because unless you have a genuine desire to get out of this, it's never going to happen. And your mind is quite strong. So you have to do things like, telling it again and again. Yeah?
Because it produces a certain enzyme.
It produces enzymes back. It tells you, it pulls you down. It gives you 1,000 arguments not to do it.
Correct.
Right? So find your practical way to tell your mind that I want to get better.
Be confident enough. When you're confident about no, be confident about yes.
Correct. Even if it means write a poster in your house, in your room, do that. Yeah. Will sound cliche, but that works.
Someone told me, I don't know whether you told me. He said the password is I'm the best.
Yes. No, it wasn't me, but yeah. A lot of people do that.
Because a lot of people do that on the phone.
Correct.
Right? Things that motivate you, things where they'll pull you out because.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, let's go deeper into this one before we go to practical ones. Do you know why Punjabis wear kada? It's actually a reminder mechanism, Kunal. Nothing else. It's a poster, right? So historically, in our culture, kada is normally worn on your strongest hand, which tends to be right for most of the people. The simple concept is that if I'm moving my hands to do something, this is a reminder that am I doing the right thing or not?
Oh.
Yeah?
Oh.
So if I'm picking a knife, this is supposed to remind me, no, this is not your job.
No. It's to cut the vegetable and not anything else.
Correct. Right? So
it's a moral compass.
It's a moral compass. Nothing else.
Beautiful.
It's a simple poster to condition your mind, right? So find that moral compass or whatever works for you. It's a poster, it's a charm or whatever to tell your mind, I want to get better. So that's number one. Yeah. Number two, find your metaphor. Running works for me.
It could mean anything.
It could mean anything. It could mean a sports activity. It could mean
a
poetry.
seva in a gurudwara.
Yeah. It could be poetry.
Anything.
It could be simply spending time with a friend. you need to identify what that works for you. What gives you that feeling about, okay, there was a good break for my mental state of mind, right? And be honest to yourself that this is my thing, right?
Correct.
Own it. You don't have to be ashamed about it. That look, he's running and I'm spending only time making kada prasad. Doesn't matter. That's your thing, right? Number 3, start small and be disciplined about it, right? Whatever it is, you have to start small. Remember, I started 250 meters with no shame, right? The context for everyone is very, very different.
As
right?
as an ultramarathoner or a marathoner, is it every 1 kilometer?
It is even smaller.
It's even smaller.
It's even smaller, right? So depending on the distances.
Passes,
Yeah, so depending on the distance. So when I'm running 250 kilometers, my measurable steps are 10K.
10K.
It's a 10K. So after every 10K, I celebrate, then I move, that kind of thing, right? If I start telling myself I have to run 250 kilometers, it's never going to happen.
You're going to give up.
You're going to give up the very first time. So I just divide to say, I'm going to run 10K, and then I will think about the every other 10K, if you will, right? So whatever thing you want to do, again, think small. There's no shame in it, right? It's a discipline you have to go through, right? Without that discipline, things won't get through. Number 4, which is perhaps the last one, is talk about it, right? I have no shame in my story because I think my story is relatable to other people, right?
True.
As I said yesterday, I didn't know that talking about your worst day can be someone's lifetime, right? So get out, talk to people. If you don't have people to talk to them, find them.
Correct.
There's plenty of support. I'll raise my hand up to say, look, if you need to talk to me, come and talk to me. Yeah, I'm easily foundable on Instagram, on LinkedIn, or WhatsApp, right? And there's plenty of people. There's no taboo to it, right, around it. And perhaps I said this was the last one, but what I'll add again is that all these things are a bit failure in a way, right? But it's a choice whether you want to keep it as a failure or a regret.
I'm your brother. If I have to, and may God give you 40 years to be around Neha, Rusmer, Arisa, Zaruhi. But if I have to ever speak at your eulogy, what do you think I would talk?
I can only wish, Kunal. I'll tell you my wish. I think it should be along the lines that I don't want to be remembered just as a father, as a son, as a brother, as a friend. I want to be remembered as somebody who transformed his life. Someone's life, people will pick up, read about it, and say, you know what, I wish I could live my life like that. Which is not a tragedy, but a transformation. It's not something
came
more
from a
about
tragedy. It came from several
came
items.
from which is normal to everybody. Yeah, the form will change. I lost a child doesn't mean you lose a child. You will lose someone else, right?
Yeah.
But how you transform is that's what I want to remember for. Right? I want people at my deaths to be happy. Yeah, to say, look, yes, sad we lost him, but he was a good man. He lived life beautifully, right?
Before we just conclude this conversation,
Sure.
Talk to me a little about Neha.
What do you want to know?
Anything. She's an enigma right now for me.
So she's the backbone of my life. You're right. I don't think I can sit on this couch or do what I do without her. Yeah. And there's, I think I give her less credit than I should. If I think about, so I met her 20 years ago, in a typical Bollywood fashion. We met in a cafe. She checked me out for records, and now I can see this on live television.
They all say that. So on a lighter note, who checked whom out?
She checked me out.
Oh, she checked
me.
And if I had to ask Neha?
I think she will confirm that.
Okay.
So she checked me out because
my girl.
apparently I looked cool in shorts.
She's my girl.
So she'll say with pride, We did it for good 5-6 years. Then we got married. We've been together for 15 years. And look, like any other marriage, we have ups and downs. Yeah, that happens, right? We have gone through tragedies together, which has bonded us. And there are a lot of things which have sort of separated us. But there are few things about her, I think, which are very unique, at least I haven't experienced anywhere else. Number one, the strength she brings to the family. I travel for work. I travel for my races. So I'm gone for practical reasons, right? Managing 2 kids, and then everything associated with them in my absence.
The mom, she's the dad.
She's a mom, she's a dad, she's everything. So she's a super mom from that perspective. So I think a lot of medals that bring glory to me, they're actually glory for her too, right? Because she allows you to do. She allows me to do that, right? She gives me the space and the time, right? I think second one, she has accepted me with all the flaws. Yeah, I have lots of flaws, which keep coming and going. There was a time I picked up smoking. There was a time I was drinking. There was a time I was depressed. There was a time when I'm upset. You know, it takes a strong, deeper love to accept these things, right? So in that sense, I'm quite blessed from that perspective. I think the third thing, which is perhaps fundamental, is undying love, right? I will always say, you know what, I've changed in my life. I've changed my value system. I want something else, whatever, it's not working and all that stuff. And she'll come back with just one line, but there is love, and that's what has to bind the family together, right? From that perspective. So yeah. That's the woman she is. Remarkable.
A wife asks a husband who's driving. She says, I've seen you very happy when a colleague of yours maybe wins a race or perhaps gets a promotion. The sort to perhaps get very disturbed about things. He's saying, why him, why not me? I've seen when your favorite footballer scores a goal. I've seen you when your favorite tennis player wins a match. You get super happy. Why? And he says something beautiful. And he says, you know what? As men, we are competing all the time. It's a rough, short world when you're a man. But when you see one of us succeed, there's happiness there.
Correct. True.
There's tremendous joy, Sandeep, my brother, to see you succeed.
Thank you.
I am telling you, my heart is full of adulation, respect, joy, and I really want you to be the Lal Singh Chadha. It's a metaphor, but I really want you to be. But at the same time, there is Zarouhi, there is Rusmer, there is Arisa, there is Nia. It all happens for a reason. I don't know. Neither an astrophysicist, neither I understand science too much, but kuch to hai.
There is something. There is something.
There is something that God, through other opportunities, indicators, if there is,
Absolutely.
or this world,
Absolutely.
telling you to do something.
Absolutely.
I don't know what it would be, but hey, what I want you to do is one thing. That family shit DNA of yours at 62, dude, you need to be at 82, man. I want you to be at 85 with problems with your prostates, right? Besides your ankle and your knee.
Again, that's a wrong approach, Kunal.
Okay.
Right? How long we live doesn't matter. What we do with the life we have, that matters the most,
No,
right?
just kind of saying.
So, if I live 100, inshallah, very nice.
20 more years, your family is going to enjoy you, right?
We'll do a podcast after 30 years.
Yeah.
How about that, right?
I'd rather have you at 85 talk about your prostates. But seriously, what a
No,
joy.
it reminds me one thing. You were talking about sort of message to other people who are going through this. Neha said something very beautiful to us too. We were sitting at the sort of dinner table, and I'm exhausted from all the sort of things I do, running, work, kids, and all that stuff, right? And she probably saw the signs of me slipping back into maybe depression or something else, right? And I love this lady and her expressions. So she puts an empty jug on the dinner table while we're having dinner. And I think that was deliberate. And I said, can I get a glass of water? And she picks up the jug and she's like, look, you can't pour out of empty jug. And that was a message. And she booked me tickets to Cambodia.
Oh,
Go 7 days in a monastery, lock yourself out, meditate, come back refreshed, right? But that expression stayed with me for the rest of the life, Kunal. You can't pour out of empty jug. So everybody who's struggling through something, you need to find the contents. Take a break, whatever you need to do. Yeah,
True.
Resources will come.
True. When you look at what I have built, what do you have to tell me? Because there are times I get exhausted myself. It's very difficult to...
So you're onto something, Kunal, and I'll tell you what you're onto something, right? The part which I think is special is the dialogue, right? Having an institute, teaching people about it, that's noble, that's one thing. I think what you're doing differently, and that perhaps take best and most of your time, is that you bring people together.
True.
For that dialogue, right? Like yesterday, what we did all day, right? Yes, it's talk and all that stuff. But in reality, what you created is 8 hours of dialogue to exchange experiences.
Correct.
And practical learning, right? Your podcast, yes, we are having fun, we are having a conversation. But in reality, you're giving a practical perspective to people.
True.
Yeah.
And that's
what's needed, right?
Absolutely.
So it will take more time, it will take more exhaustion, but I think this is how we learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
We learn through our experiences, we learn through other people's life, we learn through watching.
True.
Not by textbooks. Textbooks condition us, but the learning comes from there. So I think your emphasis on that is special. And I hope you find enough coffee to keep it going.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Otherwise, I'm going to come with a stick. So we'll do the other reverse podcast.
Really good Kenyan coffee and Cambodian coffees and some really Chilean coffees. And of course, absolutely.
No.
But such a joy.
It's my joy, Kunal, honestly.
When you go back, give my biggest love to Neha, Rusme, Arisa. When you go back to Singapore, give my biggest love to Zarouhi.
Absolutely.
I'm going to keep Zarouhi with me for some time.
Please do. Please do.
I'm going to talk about Zarouhi for the longest time. I don't know. There's something about Zarouhi which there's something beautiful about you. You keep on running.
I'll even make it bigger. And we will start a Zaruhi scholarship in your institute. Even better.
Oh, absolutely.
Even better. That's what we'll do.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
Because I know some of the things you do for the underprivileged children.
I don't talk about it.
No, I know, but I can. You can't, I can. Yeah. I think that's where we'll start something.
Oh, beautiful.
Because that's a legacy we'll create.
You know, and that's something what I think every one of us should do.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Loved it. Uplifting.
Good.
It's a weekend, but it hit here.
It's always how do you measure the success of what you do? Right? So yesterday, I was kind of wondering, how do I see whether this was meaningful or not? Right? And this is how I judge a podcast too, right? Is it on what you said, how you said, or is it about what stories people tell you?
True.
Right? Remarkably, after yesterday, Kunal, so many people showed up to talk about what they went through their lives.
True.
How the story is relatable. Right? And I think that's what you have created, right? That's how we got to measure success, because slowly you are impacting people who are feeling confident enough to say, you know what, I need to talk to you because I went through something similar.
True.
Right? That's the measure of success.
So
we had it yesterday, we'll have it today.
Yeah. You know, you said it was just one day when you woke up and you did 200 meters. It just requires that one spark.
It's just one spark.
One term,
Absolutely.
one phrase,
Absolutely.
one something
Absolutely.
for that
Just one.
flip to happen.
Absolutely.
And hopefully our audiences see that.
Inshallah, it will.
Hopefully. But to all of you, young boys, girls, mata, pita, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It is again going back to the basics. We need to take care of ourselves. If we take care of our mind and this real estate between these 2 years, we'll take care of our body, we'll take care of our family, we'll take care of everybody. And to Sandeep's point, for whatever reason, if there is some unsettlement going on in your mind, there are people. The first step is to go and talk. It doesn't really matter who you are. Just go and talk. और मुझे माफ करना, गुस्ताखी किसी के बाप से नहीं लगना. Right? So, Sandeep, you beautiful man. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
My love to everyone. And to you, thank you for listening into this beautiful podcast with Sandeep. Salam, Namaste, Sat Shri Akal, and Adab.